Okay, so today we're gonna talk about the white boars, white refugees coming to the USA because ew. I mean, am I right? Ew. Like, oh my god. Wait, you don't know why I'm saying ill to? Ill at how you guys are reacting. Not ill to the Trump administration for doing the right thing. Not ill to the people that are supporting white boars. Ill to the people who are in full support of laws of acts being passed in order to discriminate. Ill for the people that are supporting violence and calling for violence against these refugees in the USA now. Not only that, but also supporting the South African government for helping cover up all this violence that is occurring towards white boars. That's what I'm ill and disgusted at. I'm disgusted at how so many melanated people, they claim that they're about social justice, right, against racism, only to turn around and have this superior inferior complex that makes them want to discriminate against white people. That's why I'm saying ill too. I mean, there have been unalivings where people have taken the blood and have written kill the boars. Grapings have been occurring, tons of torture, different methods. Okay, this is not a little few here and there. No. This has been an ongoing situation now. Talking about kill the boars, let's talk about Malema and how he's campaigning now. His campaign party, the EFF, the Economic Freedom Fighters, is the fourth largest political party in parliament. There's been videos showing where they're talking about kill the boars. Back in 2010, it was deemed as hate speech under the South African Equality Court. But in 2022, it was ruled under the Johannesburg High Court that is not. In Parliament, when they have been addressing the Boer situation, they have said bury them alive. They have even called for cutting the throats of whiteness. Malema has said that.
When you want to hit them hard, go after a white man. They are starting with this whiteness. We are cutting the throat of whiteness.
He has also said, we're not calling for the unalivings of white people. I mean, just yet. Back in 2018, Australia took them in as refugees. Back in 2023, Russia also took them in as refugees. This is not the first time white boars have been escaping as refugees or have just been escaping South Africa due to the violence. Nor is this the first time that white boars have been discriminated against specifically. And this is where we get to the nuance of history, right? Because when we like to go under this social justice ideology that it has a lot to do with Marxist communist views of oppressor and oppression mindset, we don't look at the nuance of history, because the nuance of South Africa is the slavery and colonization works a little bit different from North America. In North America, even poor white people were protected under the system to benefit. So to create that division. South Africa, there has been proof of white on white war crimes. Back in the 1800s, when Britain took over South Africa and started discriminating against Boers, in 1899 through 1902, in the Second Boer War, there was concentration camps of Boers in which 26,000 women and children were unalived. And part of that unaliving was starvation. During this time, their farms were getting attacked, burnings, salt, anything and everything to attack specifically white farm Boers. Like, this is not the first time that they've been getting discriminated against, but now we're supporting it under the premises of social justice. They're just white colonizers. Yeah. People have even said they're not indigenous to that land. The indigenous people want that land and deserve that land. Okay, cool. So does that mean that in North America, all of these Native Americans, they get to take any land they want? Black people's land, Asian people's land, white people, Asians' land? And also, does that mean that Latinos, also anybody who's Latino and is mixed with Native American or are fully Native American, does that mean that we all get to discriminate against black people, white people, anybody, and actually start unaliving you guys, start taking back our land? Does that mean that we get to like kick you guys out of our land and say, you know what, go back to your country, go back to Africa, black people, go back to Europe, white people, this is not your land? And in fact, we outnumber North America as it is. So does that mean that we should be accepted to invade North America and take the land back? No, because that's stupid, right? So this is their land. Black people have been here for 400 years. White people have been here for 400 years. Let's not forget, this is Native American land, baby. That kind of mentality is opening up the gateway for other acts of violence. Like, let's be realistic. Also, this idea that white people are guilty just because they're born and because other individuals that happen to share their own skin color did atrocious acts that they never ever did is insanity to me. It's insanity. Because does that mean that we as Native Americans and Latin Americans get the right to discriminate against black people? Because black people, there were also conquistadores. Black people, there were black people that helped the Spanish seize important land that is now huge cities of today, like Mexico, Guatemala, Argentina. A lot of our lands were seized because of black people also helping the Spanish. So does that mean that we get to discriminate? Because of people that share your race color, they did this. Now you guys are all being discriminated against. Now you guys are all guilty just by being born and having the exact same color. No, because that's stupid, right? You are not responsible for somebody else's actions, somebody else's crimes. You're not responsible for that. They also have done this in Zimbabwe. And let's look at what happened in Zimbabwe. Matt Walsh has talked about this, and I love that he brought that up, because in Zimbabwe, there were people under the social justice, right? A social justice movement of taking land back from these white people and giving it back, right? What happened in Zimbabwe? All right, they had to beg, they had to ask for the white people to come back. Why? Because fertile land is only fertile because you have to upkeep it. Okay, just because you think, oh, it's fertile, let's just give it to anybody. First of all, the Boers only own 30% of the commercial fertile land, and other land could be used as fertile if people were taking care of their land, right? Now, this fertile land, it becomes unfertile because you don't manage it right. And that's what happened in Zimbabwe. When they took all of this land back from white people and then had to give it back, had to ask for them to come back, it was because people who took this land back didn't know how to manage fertile land. Also, I forgot to mention this is why I look a little bit different, but people have been saying, oh, the Trump administration has been allowing white people to come here as refugees, but black and brown people are not allowed. Oh my God. First of all, let's not pretend like the United States of America has not been allowing refugees of black and brown people all around the world into this country, giving them food, shelter, money, transportation, all sorts, even non-refugees, illegals, criminals coming into this country. We've been allowing them. We've been giving a lot of grace. Let's not act like Trump was the only person that has deported, because Barack Obama, your favorite president, was the worst of this deportation type of movements, okay? A lot of Latinos that are escaping Latin America, they're escaping because they don't want to address the real situation that's going on in Latin America. They're not escaping because there's acts being passed to discriminate on race. That would be different. Syrian refugees who are being discriminated solely based on race because of Arabs deserve to come here as refugees. People who are actually being discriminated, not because of politics, not because of poverty. Also, let's not act like the 8% of white people is ruining South Africa. 20,000 murders every single year occur. Okay, who is this? Who is doing the unalivings? Black people. Who are they unaliving? Black people. Black people are failing their own black people, and the black government is also failing their own black people, not white people. Okay, not apartheid history. Okay, if you truly care, for all of you guys so up in arms about South Africa all of a sudden, for all of you guys, if you guys truly care about black lives in South Africa, address the black on black crime in South Africa. The 20,000 unalivings every single year. If you're going to be against racism, actually be against racism. Don't use social justice as an excuse to blame everything on white people. because black people, brown people in general, also have to take accountability.